In this video, I'm going to share my analysis and data on December 2020's Google Core algorithm update, particularly focusing on the effects that the update had on affiliate websites. We crawled over 600 affiliate sites to tease out what were the commonalities on sites that went up versus sites that went down. And I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I really wanted to make sure that I wasn't approaching this incorrectly or jumping to false conclusions. So I've really just stepped aside during this analysis and let data do the talking. Now, one thing to note before we get started, I normally wouldn't publish anything like this outside of my course, The Affiliate Lab. In fact, the video you're about to see was actually taken from The Affiliate Lab. But so many people felt completely lost after this update, I just really felt compelled. So if you'd like to applaud my effort, just let me know you appreciate it by hitting that like button below. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Affiliate Lab members. This is Matt Diggity with the December 2020 Core Algorithm Update and my findings so far and what I've dug up through looking at a lot of data and going very, very slowly on the assumptions that I make and looking at things carefully from a data perspective and also not having any blinders on that would cause me to go astray and jump to conclusions that might be confirmation bias or anything like that. So I apologize for the delay, but I think you'll be happy with at least some of the findings that I found so far and the direction we're going. And I'd just like to give a brief reminder that this is obviously confidential for Affiliate Lab members, so please keep this under wraps. So we'll go ahead and dig in. December 3rd was when the announcement came out that we're experiencing a core algorithm update. You can see this article here on Search Engine Land, but you also notice that there's always a tweet that comes on Twitter, and typically thousands and billions of people jump in on the Facebook group saying the sky's falling and oh my God, what the hell is going on, right? And there were a lot of winners and losers in this update. So some clear losers that some people might be familiar with is this infamous website Gear Hungry, which before the algorithm update was making nearly 1 million visitors per month. And you can see that when it peaked out like in April or something like that, nearly 1.5 million visitors per month, and now it's only getting 20,000 visitors per month. If you think that one's bad, take a look at this one. So Best of Machinery, this is also one of these mega affiliate sites, and that was doing over 500,000 visitors per month, and now it's only making 4,000 visitors per month. And the crazy thing about this is, what cooks my goose, if that's even an expression, is come December 2020, before the 3rd, Google's ranking the sites, getting tons of traffic, and they're basically saying, if you want to know about machinery and whatever the site does, reviews, tools and stuff like that, or DIY stuff, if you want to know about this kind of stuff, then I definitely recommend checking out Best of Machinery. In fact, I'm going to rank it #1 for all these terms. We love this website on this topic. Then December 3rd happens and it's like, oops, big mistake. Remember that site we fell in love with yesterday? Well, we actually hate it now. It's actually one of the worst on the planet with this topic. So that's what really confuses me, how Google can switch one way to another on how they feel about a website. And here's another example of one. This is Improv, and this was doing 1 million visitors per month, and now it's only doing 58,000. And 58,000 is a good chunk of traffic, but not coming from 1 million. It's like, how can Google love a website and then just absolutely despise it the next day? I mean, this is what prompts me and gets me super curious about what are these sites doing wrong and right. And then we have some winners too. So this, you guys might know Dr. Axe. Dr. Axe has been beat up left and right in these algorithm updates, and this write-up came from Marie Haynes, and she noticed that, yeah, Dr. Axe did see an improvement in December, and you can see here on the right-hand side, this is, I believe this is the query liver cleanse or liver detox, something like that. And some websites going up and down. Dr. Axe came from #10 to #4, so obviously it's doing something right. So interesting website to look at and explore, and we will look at some patterns that might have been picked up or might have been represented by Dr. Axe. So what do we know for sure? Well, #1 is that this was a site-wide update. So if a site got hit, the whole darn thing got hit. Every page on this website got hit. It didn't affect individual pages. You didn't see some pages went down, some pages went up. It was like all of them went down or all of them went up to some degree without just ignoring some outliers that might pop up from time to time. And this also didn't apply to sections of a website. So you wouldn't have a category on your website or a subdirectory that went up where others went down. So this is a typical core algorithm update that affected things on a site-wide aspect, and which other people and many people can look at this as a quality score issue. So Google, a lot of people like to use the model that Google uses a quality score for a website, and they might update quality scores based on numerous factors, maybe technical SEO, maybe the way they're writing content, maybe their backlinks, upgrade or downgrade a quality score on a website. And then if the quality score degrades by 20%, then the rankings grade by 20%. That's another model you can look at to look at these core algorithm updates. Another thing we know for sure is that there are many examples of authority being king. So here's one of them. And what I mean by authority is the importance of backlinks, so needing more and more backlinks in order to rank. And here's a super bizarre one. So if you look at the keyword VIGRX review, this apparently is a boner pill. And you can see here we have Amazon #1 with one of its product reviews. That's a customer review on it. It's a single customer review. Amazon's also #2 with just the product page. It's not even a review of the product. #3 is a newspaper, Riverfront Times. #4 and #5 are Associated Press. And as far as I know, none of these websites are authorities in boner pills. And as far as I know, they probably don't have a lot of content on VIGRX, VIGRX, whatever you want to call it. They probably don't have a lot of content, so they probably don't have any topical authority. They're probably not interlinking much to these articles. In fact, these last 3 articles, Riverfront Times and the 2 AP News, are just used as parasite SEO. So someone figured out how to get a press release on these sites and just piggybacking off the authority of this website in order to rank. And obviously, it's only authority that's giving these keywords some rankings right here. So some theories. There's a bunch of theories that have been floating around, and I've compiled some of the good ones. So this isn't one of the good ones, but Google increased the importance of a bunch of generic advice that always shows up during the core algorithm updates. So I always see a bunch of analyses on updates that's saying, well, what you should do is you should focus on your user and write good content, make sure your content's unique, and get a fast website. Okay, that's great. That applies in every single update. So let's ignore this one. Another theory I saw was an importance in the increase in the importance of high-end links. So maybe it's quite possible that AP News, like we saw, it just has more links, but also maybe the links it does have are super high-end that a lot of websites don't have. So maybe they increase the importance of the need for that. But I don't think this is the case, and we'll get to that later too. A devaluation of low-end links, including foreign TLDs. So this is a theory came up by Eric Lantries. Eric Lantries does some really good analysis of core algorithm updates, and he's got a pretty interesting theory on foreign TLD link juice devaluation. You might want to check that out by checking him out. And then refining search intent. So this is a common theory that comes up, but I've definitely seen this on my own websites as well. So what we're talking about here is if you have an affiliate website ranking for a bunch of e-commerce type keywords. So instead of ranking for the typical best protein powder or protein powder reviews, they might be ranking for protein powder just straight up, right? So Google refined search intent, and they saw that, well, a review website, an affiliate website, shouldn't be ranking for an e-commerce type term like protein powder. So let's take that away from them. And I've even seen updates where websites that are affiliate websites can start ranking for e-commerce type keywords if they're doing all the right things in a core algorithm update, and they get over rewarded. So I really don't think the core algorithm update, while it did clean up a lot of this, and I've seen it, again, I've seen this on my own sites, I don't think it was about this, or maybe it was partially. Then another one was the increase in the need of topical relevance. So if you're going to be talking about protein powder, you can't have one piece of content on it. You need to have a lot of content on it. You need to write about it a lot, and interlink together in order to expect to rank for it. And sure, I see this from time to time too. And then this is the one that I really want to focus on right now. I'm going to ignore all the other theories for now and just focus on affiliate sites. So a lot of people are just reporting that affiliate sites just got straight up picked on. And anecdotally, if we jump over to some of the quotes I've seen from Affiliate SEO Mastermind Facebook group, yeah, there's a ton. I mean, it's not just these 4, but there's a ton of people reporting sites getting hit, and a very, very low amount of people reporting that their sites went up. And even looking at my own portfolio, Usually I do good in updates, but I definitely had some sites get dinged. And so this really lit a fire under my ass to figure out what the problem is with affiliate websites and see if we can't determine what that is. So what is the problem with affiliate sites? Well, certainly some affiliate content is okay for Google. If we just look at the subdirectory for New York Times' The Wirecutter, it didn't have any blip on the December core update. Then we can look at another website here. This is Barbend. This is a competitor of mine in one of my niches. And they did really good in December update. You can see that, well, they've recovered nearly most of their traffic that they lost in the May update of the same year. So the problem, at least I think, with what Google might see wrong with affiliate websites is this concept of doorway pages. So I've gone through Google's terms of service. I've gone through a lot of the stuff that they have in their documentation, and none of it really pertains to affiliate websites except this concept of a doorway page. And doorway pages are sites or pages created to rank highly for specific search queries. Okay, that's great. That's what all of us do. They are bad for users because they can lead to multiple similar pages in user results, where each result ends up taking the user to essentially the same destination. So think of it, a doorway page, as the purpose of this page just existing to get you to go to another page. And if you think about affiliate content, I mean, that's also the definition of good affiliate content. If it does its job correctly, if you Google best protein powder, end up on a page about protein powder, then end up clicking right away to a page where you can buy protein powder, then that also signifies that you did a pretty good job of delivering the message of what the best protein powder is, and the user got the answer to their result. But you can see where Google might have a problem with this, where if it's possible that the user didn't provide any kind of value, there isn't anything on that landing page that the person couldn't read on the product page itself, if the affiliate links were right above the fold and really it's just an image that they saw there and no one needed to read the content, like there's a whole bunch of potential things that you could imagine Google having a problem with, right? So here's potential doorway criteria that I wanted to take a look at with data to see if there's any kind of correlation on sites that went down and sites that went up and having a high amount of any of these criteria. So first is the proportion of informational versus commercial content. So maybe a website just has all best of reviews or all reviews of particular products or something like that, and they're not offering any informational, what is protein powder or how to get the best use of protein powder, or should you use protein powder if you're vegan, stuff like that. Maybe it's just all review content, not really providing much value for the reader. This is also known as top of the funnel or tofu, or bottom of the funnel content. Top of the funnel meaning this person is not even close to buying something, so they're Googling something like, is protein powder vegan? Whereas bottom of the funnel would be they're ready to buy, so they're Googling something like best vegan protein powder or something like that. Another criteria that we can take a look at is the proportion of affiliate links versus normal links. And I'm talking about outbound links. So if a website's not linking to anything that's giving anyone any more value or giving any resource citations or anything like that, it's just all the links are affiliate, maybe we can see some kind of issue there. Links above the fold. So this goes back to the doorway page theory. Maybe it's quite possible that there's a high correlation of websites getting penalized that they all have links above the fold, affiliate links above the fold, or perhaps even display ads above the fold. So that's also something I want to take a look at. And then here's another theory that I don't have the ability to test, but it's quite possible that Google's taken a look at a low amount of time on the page and people just not reading any content, just clicking to the product page. So it's kind of also covered by numbers 3 and 4, whether if a site has links or ads above the fold, then it's quite possible that they're just jumping over right away and not actually getting any value from the content. They're just going to the next page right off the bat. So in order to look at all this data and correlate it all together, I've employed the help from Surfer. Thanks so much, Michael, for making part of your team available. I don't know if you know this, but Surfer has a pretty awesome crawl capability. They're able to crawl thousands, millions of websites, obviously, in order to give on-site SEO analysis. So We utilize some of the capabilities to crawl most of the stuff you see here on the left-hand side. So a quick sanity check, once we set up all the filters and before we wanted to start crawling stuff, we just wanted to take a look at 4 sites and just see how the data turned out. So these are sites I put in the category annihilated. So these are sites that were doing pretty well and just got absolutely decimated. And you can see in the blue, this is a percentage of URLs that they had that gained traffic. Red, this is percentage of URLs that just got beat up. And then we have percentage of affiliate pages. And we define affiliate pages as any page that has the word best or review in the title and or has Amazon affiliate outbound link. So I know this doesn't cover every single instance of an affiliate page. There's definitely outliers that you can see either way, but it's going to do most of the job. And you can see here that on these annihilated pages or annihilated websites, there's a high percentage of affiliate pages, more than 75% in all of them. But this is just a few websites, so let's move over here to the big scatter plot. So what we've done here is we've analyzed 600 aged affiliate websites. So we've crawled about 600 affiliate websites. And the reason I looked at aged ones is because from time to time, I see newer affiliate sites that are just new. They tend to get away with murder more easily than other websites. Just maybe they're not on Google's radar yet. Maybe they don't have enough traffic, but I often see new websites able to get away with some crazy things, so I just removed them from the equation. So what are we looking at here? On the y-axis, we're looking at a change in traffic. Anything above this line means this website, a particular website, had an increase in traffic since the update. Anything below this horizontal line means they've decreased traffic up to 100%. On the y-axis, we're looking at the percentage of monetized pages that each of these websites have. So the percentage of monetized pages. Over here meaning every single page on the website is monetized. Over here means 0 pages. And how we're defining what is a monetized page is we're looking at some simple things. We're looking at a page with the words best or review in the title tag, or if it just has outbound affiliate links. So there's definitely corner cases where we wouldn't be able to detect this, but for the most part, we're going to get pretty darn close to getting a representation of the percentage of monetized pages. So some key things to take a look at here is first, if we just look from a high level, how many dots are below the 0% traffic change line and how many dots are above that, you can definitely see that there's more dots below, meaning that either way you look at it, it does seem that at least out of these 600 sample websites, more affiliate websites lost than gained. So whether or not Google meant to do this, it's just an effect of what happened either way. And what we can also see here is when we plot the trend line, we can not clearly see, there's definitely outliers all over the place, but you can see that the more monetized pages or the higher percentage of monetized pages you have on your website, the steeper or the bigger decline in traffic you might have seen. Now, this is not conclusive, absolutely is not conclusive, and we'll talk about correlation and causation very shortly, but you can definitely see that there's a trend here, which is what we're trying to find when we do correlation studies like this. Is it convincing? Is it 100% set in stone? I would definitely say no, especially because we have so many outliers above and below these lines. We have sites with almost no affiliate content on there, but they just got demolished. We have sites with a ton of them, but it did fine. And the only thing I can say about that is, well, first, this theory could be wrong. Or second, it's also possible that, and almost guaranteed, that there's multiple things going on in the core algorithm updates at the same time, not just one simple thing. We know this for sure, that Google rolls out many things at the same time in a core algorithm update. So what cases does this cover? Remember all these theories of what Google might think a doorway page is. By simply looking at the percentage of affiliate content versus informational content, this covers a few different cases. First, Google is deeming affiliate sites bad if they have too much commercial content. That's exactly what we're looking at. But also if they have too many affiliate links, right? Because you're going to have more affiliate links in your commercial content. You're going to have no affiliate links in your informational content. And also if they have too much bottom of the funnel content. So it's great that this particular test and this particular correlation study will cover a lot of the theories that we have if it does deem to be true. Correlation causation warning, just because we see that there's somewhat of a trend, it's not even a strong trend, but we are seeing a pretty good looking trend that the more affiliate content you have, the higher chance of penalty, or the bigger the impact of your penalty. It doesn't mean that's the only reason the sites got hit. It could just mean that sites with these characteristics have other things in common that could have caused it. Like maybe they all write content the same way. If you have a high amount of affiliate content on your site, it could just mean that by chance they all write content the same way, or they all use the same types of links or outreach strategy or something like that. Or they all their owners put on their left socks before their right socks in the morning. It could just mean anything. So always take this with a grain of salt. This is just some kind of correlation that we see. That said, check this out. I actually stumbled upon this documentation in Google Search Central after I had run all the tests and after I had shot the first part of this video. So I'm actually editing this in. But anyways, this is documentation they have on affiliate programs and gives a lot of guidelines similar to doorway pages on how you should never just regurgitate whatever can be found on the vendor's sales page or something like that. So there's a lot of content on that, which is akin to what we saw on the doorway page content. But check this out. Example of thin affiliates, pages of product affiliation where the majority of the site is made for affiliation and contains a limited amount of original content or added value for users. But this seems to be pretty black and white. They don't want to see a majority of the site made for affiliation. So take it for what you will. Now, what about this above the fold stuff? Remember we were talking about, yeah, it could just be a doorway page of Google seeing a bunch of above the fold links, a bunch of above the fold display ads and stuff like that. But as you can see here, there's not much correlation. If you have a high percentage of pages with Amazon links above the fold, doesn't necessarily mean you got dinged a lot harder. And in fact, there's some outliers that just show like you can have tons of pages with Amazon links above the fold and you're going to get rewarded. It could go either way and look the same when we looked at display ads. So what is Leadspring doing? What is my affiliate agency doing? What are we doing to pivot? What are we doing to recover those sites that did get dinged? Well, we're going to be doubling up on informational or top of the funnel content. So we're going to be publishing that stuff as much as we can until the next update. We're going to make sure that things are moving in the right direction, and then we'll determine what to do at that point in time. And we're going to be focusing on short word count article pieces. So we're definitely not going to be writing pieces of informational content that take 7,000 words to write. We're going to be focusing on as short as content as possible, and we're going to be using Surfer SEO to figure out what are the articles that can be written with short word length. That's just because we know that we get more value out of writing commercial content. If we need to write informational content, we're going to keep it as short as possible so we can also get up the amount of pages as fast as possible that are non-commercial. In addition to this, we're going to double down on topically relevant content. So we want to make sure that the content that we're writing is going to have the chance to boost our commercial content. So we're going to be reverse engineering and looking at content pieces. For example, again, going back to best protein powder, looking at content that can be used to boost our best protein powder pages. So again, is protein powder sugar-free and stuff like that. And so we can crank these guys out, interlink them to our commercial content, and hopefully get a boost. And then we're definitely going to monetize this content with display ads. You can't really monetize informational content that well. We will put email opt-ins there in order to capture visitors, but we'll also be monetizing with display ad. So what are the next steps as far as this case study goes? As you know, we've only analyzed 600 affiliate websites. We really want to do a complete crawl and look at 500,000. We'll probably refine how we're looking at the sites and how we're choosing them, make sure we get a nice spread of the entire representation of the internet of affiliate sites, and see if we can get at least a more clear trend line or something like that. Other than that, we're sticking to our plan at Leadspring and seeing how things roll out. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in joining the affiliate lab so you can have first-hand access to stuff like this, we're having a promo going on until Friday the 19th for $200 off. Just click the link in the description for the $200 off backdoor portal.